And there's no more of a national story we could start with than the murder, than the assassination last week of Charlie Kirk. This is a 31-year-old man. This is a 31-year-old man who committed the grave sin of thinking that all of God's children had something to say, all of their voices were viable and valuable, and that the best way we could figure out who's right and who makes the most sense in this moment is to talk about it. It is to go back and forth with one another, is to weigh and measure the facts and the evidence and the arguments and the narratives and the history and say, what actually is true? What actually makes sense? And something Charlie was always good to ask is, what does God say? What does the word say? Right? We could talk about your opinion and my opinion, and that's interesting to an extent. I certainly do want to hear your voices. But the reason I tell Bible stories every week is because where we need to start, all of us, is what does God say? What does the book say? And yeah, sometimes there's cases where there's silent spots in the text. Like, I don't think our word says you can't say a certain type of word. I don't think that it works that way. Um, but I do think there's a lot of things where it's very clear, right? Drink, but not to the point of drunkenness. There's a million things where the Bible does give a clear instruction, and we're never told that we have the right to countermand those instructions. And so I always try to trace it back to the word, and that's what Charlie was doing.